Welcome to this module on organizing your study time. Once classes begin, you want to sit down and create a study schedule that works for you. In university, most of your learning will take place outside of class, rather than in class like you might be used to from high school. A study schedule is a valuable tool for staying on track throughout the whole term.
To start creating your study schedule, download an official U of M timetable planning form. You can also use this form when you're figuring out what classes to take.
Then, fill in your classes for the week. Add your fixed commitments that repeat every week, and set aside time for regular study sessions to get in the habit of studying a little bit every day. Now you have a basic study schedule. Review your syllabus to check your study tasks for the week and add them to your schedule.
Schedule previewing time to prepare for class. You can preview by reading the syllabus to see what topics will be covered during the lecture, reading notes from the previous class, skimming your textbook for headings, definitions, diagrams, or practice questions, printing your PowerPoint slides or notes from UM Learn.
When you're in a lecture, put your phone on silent so that you're not distracting yourself or others. Don't just write down every word the professor says. Instead, summarize important information in your own words. Note the ideas you're having trouble understanding during the lecture so you can return to them later. Make connections between your previous knowledge and new ideas.
Review your lecture notes right after class and condense the information you just learned. If you wait more than a day to do this, the information will quickly fade from your memory, making it more difficult to prepare for tests and exams.
As you become familiar with your classes and workload at university, regular study sessions will become part of your everyday routine. In your study sessions, we suggest that you regularly survey the material of the entire course. Don't just focus on what you're currently learning, but go back and briefly review previous material so that it enters your long-term memory. Test yourself with flashcards or practice questions to see what material you're having trouble with and where you should focus your time and energy. Altogether, these steps are known as the learning cycle, and they will help you structure your study time.
Now that you have your weekly schedule and you're familiar with the steps of the learning cycle, you can create a daily study schedule or checklist.
First, we previewed the syllabus for Math 1500 to learn that we'll be covering derivatives.
After class, we've scheduled some time to review what we just learned. Feel free to add notes to stay organized.
You'll notice that we're going back and overlapping material that we learned earlier in the week, focusing on areas that we struggled in.
Don't forget to schedule in a break and even a reward between study sessions. Short, repeated study sessions with breaks are actually much better for our learning than longer study sessions without breaks.
Now, we're going to spend some time briefly previewing the textbook before biology.
Then we're going to attend biology, making sure that we're paying attention and taking good notes. After class, we've scheduled another quick bio review.
As you go through your day, you can use this as a checklist and you'll get a better idea of how much you can accomplish every day.
Here we have identified an area that we're struggling with, and we've made a note to ask our professor about this after class.
As we check through, we can also begin to plan ahead.
And sometimes we can't always get everything done as planned, and that's okay. We figure out a way to work it in elsewhere.